Good day, sports fans across the globe. You are watching the P&B Sports Show. I'm your host, Aroko Tom. Tonight, the land of the crescent moon will howl, and the ancient city of Bergamo will tremble, and the lights of the Metropolitano will burn with a fierce Spanish fire. It's the UEFA Champions League round of 16, and the stakes have never been higher. Joining me to dissect the tactical DNA of these fixtures are two of the best in the business, our walking encyclopedia, and our own in-house sports analyst, Abel Sunday, and the tactical mastermind joining us virtually from the ancient city of Benin, Ero John. Gentlemen, the atmosphere is electric. Now let's get into the heart of the action. Well, we'll be moving to Galatasaray and Liverpool. It's going to be a fierce competition between those two. It seems like Liverpool, faces a massive late blow as Alisson Becker is ruled out due to injury, and Giorgio Madelsvili is set to, deputize the hostile hell of Rams Park. It's going to be a very, very tough one. And also we'll be seeing Victor Osimhen will be leading the line for the Galatasaray side with a nearly clean bill of health. And this is a very, very surprising one. Abel, I'm going to start with you. We're going to be seeing Alisson Becker is staying back at Merseyside. He's not going to be around due to injury. And in a stadium as intimidating as the Rams Park, how much of a psychological advantage does this give Victor Osimhen and the Galatasaray side? Is Osimhen's effect enough to rattle a debutant keeper like that of Liverpool?
Okay. Good morning, Tom. Good morning, Aaron. I think to start with, it's an advantage to Victor Osimhen, like you rightly said, playing at home first, and considering the fact that they've done it over Liverpool this season, this Champions League before now. So that will give them edge, will give them confidence, morale booster going into this game. That yes, we can do it before. Why not? We can still do it again. But if you want to look at it from two angles, you also say Liverpool is coming for a revenge mission because after losing to Galatasaray 1-0 that first time, I think this time they want to correct their mistakes. So it's going to be a very, very tough encounter. Talking about Victor Osimhen, he scored the goal the first encounter, and that of course again give him another confidence that okay, yes, I can still do it again. And considering the fact that he's playing at home with all the backings of the crowd there, I think he's still going to do better. But I think I was watching somebody saying something yesterday that Galatasaray have everything in their disposal, but they just need to turn out and play. Just like if they play the way they play Juventus, then they will be back second leg Juventus, there will be a problem. So they just need to come out and play their house out, and it's possible that definitely they can beat over the Liverpool guys. But hopefully, let's see how it will be a very interesting game. There's no two ways about it.
Abel, if you recall, there are rumors that Liverpool is begging for Victor Osimhen to come to the English Premier League. What do you think? Do you think that this is the time for Victor Osimhen to prove himself and to destabilize the Liverpool side before heading to the English Premier League?
Yes, I think so. If you also recall, you remember him against Juventus when Ronaldo did that bicycle kick or something against Juventus, and I think the next season that he moved to Juventus, I think probably will have a similar situation here. I hope and I pray. I just hope Victor Osimhen do better today, and also I pray Galatasaray should win. For me, I mean. Super Eagles fan. Any Super Eagles player playing, I must back that team. So I just hope Victor Osimhen cross this round of 16.
Fantastic. And over to you, Ero. We are going to be seeing Coach Okambuk. He has mentioned that he wants a physical game against the Liverpool side, something that will disrupt Liverpool. And tactically, how does Liverpool protect a backup keeper against the Galatasaray side? A keeper like Madelsvili that is going to be debuting for the Liverpool side. What do you think about this? You've called Liverpool the set piece FC. Are we going to see the set piece FC, win a Galatasaray side today, in your own opinion?
Okay, I think it's going to be a very clear encounter. I think it's going to be Liverpool out for revenge. Don't forget them. Galatasaray have beat them already in this season. 1-0 because of the same Victor Osimhen. So I think that Liverpool will be out for the revenge against the Galatasaray side. The debutant goalkeeper, in my opinion, has something to prove. This is a very big test. It's not just a big test in the English Premiership. It is a big test in Europe. Europe's biggest club competition. It is also a big test for me away from the Merseyside Stadium. So it's going to be away from Anfield. It's going to be a very big one for him. And I want to believe that with this new generation of players that we have, they tend to do well on debuts like this when you give them big stage. I mean, we have a very big one to go to go.
But him debuting, in the Champions League. This is the Champions League. This is not the English Premier League. This is not the FA Cup. The Champions League is arguably, the most toughest league when it comes to football. What do you think? Because we are going to be seeing a Galatasaray side that Victor Osimhen had to rally in their last match in the Champions League, and he came out and he said they were not as confident as he expected them to be. That it seems like he was talking on deaf ears. What do you think? Do you think that we might see a different Galatasaray side tonight?
Yes, of course. I mean, this is a knockout case in the competition. And a two-legged knockout case. Everybody has to win. Don't forget, there's nothing short of the away goal anymore. So we are going to see a completely different Galatasaray. The absence of the Liverpool number 1 goalkeeper will be a boost for the Galatasaray team. Also, I mean, the likes of Victor Osimhen and the entire attacking line will be glad okay. They are not going to have the experience of Alex Becker on the post. This is a new game. Somebody that will go to play with a certain level where especially the beginning to be champion. So I expect Galatasaray to become ruthless. So if their earlier tactical plan is going into the game of the play compact, I expect them to play a more attacking game now that they dismiss that anything is going to lose the match. And Liverpool, on the other hand, they are going to find a way to rally around the new goalkeeper and see how they're going to protect him because there's not so much experience between them.
Okay.
So yes, I'm going to expect
Indeed. What's your scoreline prediction for Galatasaray Liverpool, Ero?
Because the game is going to be played in Turkey, I believe Galatasaray is going to be 2-1.
2-1. Okay, we are going to hold you to your prediction. And Abel, please, what is your own prediction? Galatasaray Liverpool, the Turkish side versus the English Premier League side.
I think it's going to be 1-0 again in favor of Galatasaray.
Okay. So good luck to Victor Osimhen, as our analysts have predicted that it's going to be favorable to Galatasaray. And now we'll be moving to the next contenders. Atlanta versus Bayern Munich. Bayern arrives in Italy with Harry Kane. Harry Kane has had 14 goals in his last 10 games and is back in training after a calf strain. Atlanta, they are the comeback kings who have knocked out Dortmund and are without the suspended Giorgio Scalvini and the injured Charles De Ketelaere. What do you think, Abel? How do you expect an Atlanta side that has been hot, especially with our own, especially with our own player from our national team missing from the team? How do you expect them to perform? You are muted, Abel.
Oh, sorry. Atlanta Bayern Munich, I don't think, for me, I think to be one-sided, my own opinion though, because Bayern Munich this season has been doing so well, and I'm just talking about the form now from their domestic league. But though they said domestic league form does not count in Champions League, many say that, but I think it also matters in this case. If you look at their domestic performances, I think you put Bayern Munich on top. Because the fact that Bayern Munich finished top and finished, I think, top 8 in the qualification of this round of 16, So I'm going to give it to Bayern Munich, and with, of course, we have a very good, a very good squad, honestly, a very good squad from Bayern, very, very good squad, a robust squad against Atlanta. I don't think Atlanta have any chance, to be honest. I don't think so.
Okay. Ero, we've seen an Atlanta side that has conceded in 5 consecutive European games against a Bayern side that has scored multiple goals in almost every UEFA Champions League match this season. How do you expect them, to go into this match? Do you agree with what Abel has said, that this will be a one-sided matchup? Ero, are you with us?
Yes, I'm okay. I agree with you, but it was a very large extent. And the only thing I expect from Atalanta today is to play defensively to reduce the number of goals conceded. Personally, I don't think there's any offset they can talk to Bayern Munich, because in football, never say never. But then again, Bayern being one of the favorites to win the competition today, I personally do not think there's so much Atalanta can do, especially missing 2 players from their squad. I just think they should play defensively and then try to beat Bayern on the counter attack. Yeah, that's my thing.
Okay, I'm still going to stick with you, Ero. We've seen Harry Kane, like I said earlier, he has scored about 14 goals in his last 10 games, and he also had a calf strain and a scare when he came to the injury. Is there any defender in Atlanta, in your own opinion, since you've suggested that they should play defensively? Do you think that there's any defender in the Atlanta squad that can hold down a person in the personality of Harry Kane?
I don't think so. I don't think Atalanta can do the quality of their hold Harry Kane down. The only thing I think they can do is they can assign players to him, or they can do what they call the man-marking system, where you completely remove one player from your squad. Although it has zone calls, and you remove one player from your squad, you attack that player to him throughout the game. Wherever he goes to go, wherever he says to go, and just like that. I think that's the only thing that can be done. Just like the likes of Jose Mourinho did on Manchester United against the Hazard when he used under Herrera in Man Market. That's the only thing I think they can
Indeed.
Indeed.
You are a person that has a lot of coaching experience. So when you say things like this, I always look out for it when watching any match that you have this type of predictions for. But when it comes to Atlanta, Bayern Munich, what is your scoreline prediction, and who do you think is going to take home the win?
Bayern Munich 3-0.
Bayern Munich 3-0. So Atlanta will not have any hope to be scoring the net, to be getting to the back of the net when it comes to Ero's prediction. And Abel, what is your prediction?
2-0 Bayern Munich.
2-0 Bayern Munich. Wow. So you are playing safe. Well, I think I'm going to give a prediction when it comes to this one. And my own prediction is 4-0. 4-0, 3-0, 2-0. Well, right now we're going to be going on a short break. And when we come back, we are going to continue our post-match analysis, pre-match analysis for the UEFA Champions League, which will be played tonight. So don't go anywhere, because P&B Sports Show will be right back. Welcome back to P&B Sports Show. I'm your host, Aroko Tom, and I still have the biggest, the best, the biggest sports analyst in the world of football and in the world of sports, in the person of Abel Sunday and Ero John, who have been with us, and they've been giving us their predictions and dissecting and giving us the pre-match analysis of the UEFA Champions League clashes, which we'll be having tonight. We just left the Atlanta versus Bayern Munich match, and now we'll be moving on to Atletico Madrid Tottenham, the side we just moved out from Abel. We just moved out from the side that from the side that Ademola Lookman left, which is Atlanta, and now we're moving on to the side that Ademola Lookman is in right now, which is Atletico Madrid, and they'll be taking on the Tottenham Hotspurs. And it seems like it's going to be a hospital ward clash. This might be a UBTH or a hospital clash, because we are going to be seeing the Spurs. You know, they have Igor Tudor is missing. You know, a staggering 12 players right now, including James Maddison, Dejan Kulusevski, Mohamed Kudus, and Atletico is at full strength with Ademola Lookman, you know, has joined the squad, and then he brings this Nigerian directness to the attack. As soon as I know, say Nigeria know they carry last pata. So what do you think, Abel? How you see this match? They pan out for person like Ademola Lookman.
Okay, I think Ademola Lookman definitely, since he moved to Atletico Madrid, he has been doing very, very well with his number of contribution and also goals that he has contributed for the team. I think he has been doing so well. But when you come down to the Champions League against Tottenham, if you look at Tottenham, they perform so. If you go again, let me see you in the domestic form. They perform so, but their performance in the domestic league is so bad.
Abysmal performance.
If you want to use that, you must use that one. If you bring that one to the table now, of course, you are going to put Atletico Madrid on top, considering their last game. I'm not talking about their last league game. I'm talking about their last Champions League game. How they dispatch Atletico Madrid to do the game. Do you get? So I think
okay.
Team is just too strong. It's just too strong for Tottenham. And again, we're talking about this new coach syndrome. But having new coach for Tottenham, I think the team is not working for them even up till now. But let's see what will happen. But I think Atletico Madrid will be a bit too strong for them to chew.
Okay, indeed. Ero, we are seeing a sports side that is sitting 16th in the Premier League, and they are decimated by injuries. You know, is this Champions League run, in your own opinion, a final beacon of hope for them? Do you think that they might see the bright light at the end of the tunnel, or do you think they might just see it and never touch it?
They will be like Moses in the Bible. They will see the promise down, but will not enter. You think that despite having a new coach, what Tottenham is presently experiencing is what any team can experience. You cannot have, the players continue are arguably the best players in Tottenham Hotspur. James Maddison, Mohamed Kudus, Igor, these are the best players they have. You cannot rule out the possibility of them declining in form. These are the best of attacking players that they have. Then none that better than these players are familiar with people. In that sense, apart from Dominic Solanke, and it doesn't even get regular playing time. But going into the Champions League, to answer your question very quickly, I don't think you stand a chance against to form Atletico Madrid. Although there have been a slight difference in their performances in the Champions League than in the Premier League. I mean,
okay.
They have had the performances that have brought them where they are. So going to Spain,
okay. Fantastic. Well, a win for Athletic side effectively ends the tie, and a loss for a depleted Spurs and an injured Spurs could trigger a total season collapse, not just in the UEFA Champions League, but will surely affect them even in the English Premier League. What are your scoreline predictions, Ero, for Atletico Madrid Tottenham? Quickly, just give us the scoreline predictions.
1-0.
1-0 in favor of Atletico Madrid. That one goal, who do you think is going to score it? Abel?
I 3-0. I don't know about but I look at 3-0.
Are we going to be expecting a goal from Ademola Lookman?
Yeah, he should score one. I think he's going to score one of those goals.
Okay. Fantastic. Now we'll be moving on to the blockbuster, the final blockbuster that we are going to be having tonight, which will be Newcastle versus Barcelona. Barcelona finally returns to St. James Park, where they won 2-1 earlier this season, thanks to a Marcus Rashford double. And Newcastle is hit by a virus and injuries, missing Bruno Guimaraes and Fabian Schär. What do you think? You know, I think people are saying that this is going to be Newcastle's real challenge. This is going to be their first tough match in the UEFA Champions League. What do you think, Abel? Well, it seems like we lost them. But, you know, some people are saying that Newcastle, they've not really had any tough match this season. And especially with a side like Barcelona that has been fully committed to a player like Marcus Rashford and have invested a lot into Marcus Rashford. And Newcastle, they also have been having injury problems. And it seems like they've been doing well in the UEFA Champions League. And they are real contenders that they've really faced. Only is the Paris Saint-Germain side, which they were able to disperse earlier on in this season. But some are saying that the only reason why they were able to challenge the Paris Saint-Germain side is because they are having internal squabbles and internal issues. But it seems like a win for Newcastle will make them global heavyweights and will make them being revered and fierce. And maybe we might see them next season in the English Premier League, you know, topping the table, or, you know, regaining a European spot side as well. But a win for Barca will prove that Hansi Flick's tactical superiority is always available when it comes to away legs. In my own opinion, I think that the Newcastle obviously will be missing their heartbeat in Bruno Guimaraes, and that will be a big blow for them. And in my own opinion, the question that many fans are asking is, how do they stop the creative flair of a player like Lamine Yamal and also Pedri without their best defensive midfielder? A Lamine Yamal that has scored a lot of goals this season, that seems to be one of the best players alongside Pedri that the Barcelona side has. What do people want to see from this match? People want to see a Barcelona side that completely decimates a side like Newcastle. But on the other hand, Newcastle fans are saying, you know what? We are going to rally around the Barcelona side and we are going to come out blistering and blazing hot. And also, Marcus Rashford seems to have a love affair, you know, with scoring the Newcastle side, especially with his brace. And some people are asking, are we going to see a brace again from a player like Marcus Rashford? Or are we going to see the Newcastle side say, you know what, I'm going to assign one player to Marcus Rashford to make sure that we take him out? But obviously, that will have its own implications, because we are going to be seeing players like Pedri and the likes of Lamine Yamal, you know, being free to score. And already this season, it seems like the secret weapon that Hansi Flick has and that he will use against the Newcastle side is Marcus Rashford. Errol John, what do you think? Do you think that Marcus Rashford will be the biggest threat against the Newcastle side? Or do you think that someone might rear his head, someone like Lamine Yamal?
I think two things, actually. One, I was telling somebody just yesterday, a Barcelona fan, that I think Marcus Rashford will be a good weapon to use against Newcastle. The reason it's not perfect, he has English experience, he has played in the German, and he's familiar with the Newcastle side and the way they play. So it will only be wise that he could actually uses a player like Marcus Rashford against the Newcastle side. He can bring in such knowledge and experience into playing them. Another player that will be the second weapon is Lamine Yamal. I mean, he appears unstoppable and unpredictable. So yes, I'm looking out for the goal.
Okay, indeed. Indeed. What's your scoreline prediction for this match, Newcastle-Barcelona? Take note. Some people have been saying that Newcastle have not really had a threat, but this is a side that they were able to hold their own against a Paris Saint-Germain side.
Exactly. I was about to say that this is a club that knows how to cut and offset when they play the big side. So it's going to be a difficult one. But I will put Barcelona to 2-1.
2-1. Are you sure? I'm going to hold you. I'm going to hold you to that. I'm going to hold you to that. And it seems like that is where we end today's tactical marathon. The talking is over, the analysis is done, and now we wait for the beautiful game to speak for himself. A huge thanks to my Oga at the top and the Agadagidi of sports analysis, Abel Sunday, and Ero John, all the way from the ancient city of Benin. Thank you both for joining us. I'm Arokotom, and for more in-depth analysis, follow us on all our social media platforms. On YouTube at Politics&BusinessTV.English, on Facebook at Politics&BusinessTV.English, on Instagram at PNBTV_.